Hey friends, Kelly's Destination Deals. It is Thursday, so I wanted to just come and give you a little bit of an update. This is going to be another short one. I'm trying to keep these short, not too long. Usually the first Thursdays are a little bit longer because they're highlighting a new destination. This one is going to highlight a little bit of some security updates and information. So if any of you have been on a flight recently, you may notice that you are no longer required to take off your shoes. Yay! So for many of you, that's like a big woohoo, because it's just frustrating. I know I like to wear flip-flops, and I hate having to take my shoes off and walk barefoot. It's gross to me, but you will no longer need to be taking your shoes off when you go through security. Now that led to a lot of questions for me because I was like, what changed? How did we get to this point? So I'm going to bring in a special advisor, okay? He's my favorite security person. So let me introduce you. Most of you may know him if you know me at all. Jim Selovog.
Hello.
This is my husband, in case you were wondering. So Jim is a security consultant. And so can you give us a little bit of insight? It's like what it is, like why, what changed? Why don't we need to take our shoes off when we go through airport security anymore?
Sure. So essentially, I guess it was early last week. Many of you have probably seen that the TSA changed their rules on what you can and can't bring through and what you need to wear and what not. And they did remove the requirement for removing your shoes and place them on the belt. The reason that they have given is that there's been some increases as time has gone on. Security technology and the systems and equipment that they use to screen people as they're going through has definitely improved. I mean, you think of all kinds of technology improves over time, and security technology is no different. So fortunately for those who don't like to remove their shoes, it's kind of a little bit gross sometimes. They don't put like protective covering down on the floors or anything like that. So they have decided that now the technology is such where they can accomplish their screening objectives with the types of millimeter wave technology that they use now. So if you've been on a flight before, you've seen the big tube that you go into and raise your hands and you're scanned. Two items move, one in front of you, one behind you. And now with the increases in the improvement in those screening capabilities and the improvement of the successive millimeter wave, that's the chief driving reason that they feel comfortable with releasing that requirement.
So that's super awesome. Like I love that. I love that I don't take my shoes off anymore. I'm excited for that. Really, really excited. The other question I have is, so sometimes when you go through security, you have to take your laptop out. Sometimes you don't. I am always confused as to which it is and why. Like, what's the difference? Sometimes TSA is yelling, all laptops out, all laptops in a separate bin. And other times they're like, no, leave them in, leave them in. That's confusing to me. Can you just talk a little bit about like what's the technical? Keep in mind, I am not a techie person. I like it in layman's terms. Why is it that sometimes you have to take it out and sometimes you don't?
Sure. The short answer is it's completely determined what you need to take out by the types of equipment that are being used. So, and it all depends on the airport. If you've been to I was in Houston not too long ago, and they have some newer type of X-ray baggage scanners that they're using. Though the technologies that they're using in those particular machines are such that you don't need to remove your electronic devices. Older machines that you would see of various brands, there's a few that that most airports use. And depending on the model and the year and the type of technology that's in them is what you're going to be required to do. So there will be places where You won't have to take your laptop out. There are places that you do put them in a separate container or not, and it is not that they're doing security, less, or there's less of a focus on it. It's completely based around the capabilities of what they can do with the technology, the way the particular X-ray machine or scanner works, and its ability to see into your luggage is basically that particular airport's rules could vary based on the different airports and what they have.
So let me just get this straight, because again, not techie person, don't love all that. I always ask for the 30-second, give me the short version. So my luggage and everything still goes through the X-ray, but then you mentioned when we go through, it's millimeter wave. Mm-hmm. What's the difference? When I go through that little thing where my hands are up and they're scanning me, what's kind of going on? Again, keep it short, keep it sweet, summary, easy to understand, because I don't understand most of it. So help me understand a little bit.
Yeah. So millimeter wave technology is a technology that's been around for probably 20 years or so. Before it was more of an X-ray based activity. But millimeter wave is actually not X-ray. It's not low dose X-ray, not low dose X-ray. So they're essentially very. So they are.
It was X-ray. Yeah. That's why I need him around.
So millimeter wave is essentially frequency waves that are shown through you, and they have a high level to detect things that are hidden a little bit more effectively than your traditional magnetometer or metal detector. And again, as the technology has improved and as millimeter wave has become more effective in detecting certain metals and plastics and other items against your body, is why they feel comfortable being able to do away with the shoe rule and a couple other things. So you still have to, for those that, it's good news for some. There are some I know that the belts are annoying. You're still going to have to take off your belt. You still might be asked to remove jewelry at times, or certain types of watches based on where you are. But in due time, I'm sure, hopefully, technology improves and they'll find ways that you don't have to do those, very inconvenient things at times, but for the security of everybody, they find it necessary.
So millimeter wave is also different than a typical metal detector, and I always thought when you went through these things, I actually didn't think it was an X-ray. I thought it was more of just a metal detector, a basic metal detector, even when you do the arms up thing. So millimeter wave is more effective and highly more able to I don't know the word for it, but more precise, I guess, is the word I'm looking for, than just a metal detector. Is that what I'm hearing?
So right. So metal detector, also magnetometer, right? So think magnetic field versus waves, detection waves. So a little bit more accurate, a little bit better in terms of the location of where an item might be stored on a person, rather than just a general alarm passing through a magnetic field, which is what a magnetometer really is.
Huh. Well, you never stop learning. I've been married to this guy for almost 24 years, and we do talk about technology, security technology, quite a bit. And I'm still learning lots of new things. And when I heard that shoes were going to be no longer needed to be removed, that kind of surprised me. And so I wanted to make sure that you all were aware, because, while I certainly love to plan your travel, I also like to make sure your travel is planned safely. That's a very important thing to me. I like to make sure that you're managing your risk and that you are being safe when you travel, which is why sometimes, if you do plan to travel with me, I will ask for lots of travel documents, like your passport numbers, maybe copies of your passports, so that just in case, we want to minimize risk. It's not because I'm trying to keep all your documents. It's because I want to make sure that you are traveling safely. And when you're flying, whether that is internationally or domestically, it's exciting now to know that technology is improving. There's been all kinds of changes. I remember our first flight right after 9/11, and that was very highly scrutinized, and rightly so. But it's great to know that technology is continuing to develop. Not that that surprises me that it does, but it's exciting to see that it's developing, and different things coming along in the future. Now, millimeter wave is used. This I do know. I don't even need Jim to chime in for this one. See, I do know a little bit. Millimeter wave is used in other places, not just at airports. Trust me, every time we go through a millimeter wave detector, Jim goes, "It's a millimeter wave detector. Look, we're going through Hershey Park. It's a millimeter wave detector." And then he usually mentions the brand names, which I won't mention because I don't have specific brands that I'm loyal to because I don't do that kind of thing, and I don't want to, get into any of that. But so hope you enjoyed this. It's a little bit different than I usually do kind of on my Thursdays, but I just wanted to come and give you a little bit of a different perspective. If you enjoyed this, let's give a big shout out to Jim for sharing his knowledge and expertise with us. It's always interesting to see different aspects of travel, and travel should be fun, and travel should be relaxing, and travel should most definitely be safe. So I hope you enjoyed. Drop a comment, give a like. Feel free to share this on your social media. And if there's topics that you want to hear more about, drop them in the comments. Let me know. Shoot me a text, shoot me a private message, get in touch with me in some way so that I can make sure I'm covering the topics that you want to hear about. Next Thursday, probably, I will probably be coming to you live. So if you want to jump on with me live at 6:30, if you have any travel questions, I'd be happy to answer them, assuming I know the answers. And if I don't, I have no problem saying, I'm not sure. I don't know the answer to that, but let me get back to you, and then I will do my due diligence and my research and contact other travel advisors that I work with that may know better than I do. So hope you have a great rest of your day Thursday. This was a little longer than I had expected, but that's okay. I think it was really interesting, and really appreciate you hanging in there with me. Thanks so much. Talk to you later.